Hey, black women, I gotta share this with y'all. I know this don't have nothing to do with nothing, but I gotta vent this out, right? Okay, so let me tell you. Oh God, this man is always getting to me. All right, so there's another YouTuber that I watch only when as much as I could take him, because he is like your traditional, typical, ignorantly arrogant Jamaican man, right? So his name is Soulflow. He has Soulflow TV. So I don't know how many of you guys saw the Bob Marley movie, right? I saw it. I actually enjoyed it, even though it was really like, I can't say the word whitewash, but it was watered down to make it easier for people to digest, right? So, of course, when he's talking about the movie with his subscribers, the women, rightfully so, would bring up how Bob Marley was crazy disrespectful to Rita, right? Hurtful to that woman, soul crushing disrespect, soul crushing cheating, and having multiple children outside of his marriage with black women, okay, and disrespectfully white women. And it's like, what this dude doesn't understand, and I'm gonna let y'all hear him bug out and give his ridiculous excuses of why women and Rita should have been accepting of Bob's cheating and of men's cheating in general. It's like such bullshit. And the thing that kills me about these guys is that they don't even understand that to certain women who really love these men and have given them their all and continue to give them their all, this cuts deeper than any knife could ever cut, right? And her being too much sage going on. Her being a Rastafarian woman, right? She has particular beliefs that she lives by that makes her feel and decide and convince herself that she should put up with that type of abuse. Now, and I can say that wholeheartedly because my husband was a Rastafarian too. And I can honestly tell you, as much as those men, I'm not talking about the women because I can't talk on them because I was never a Rastafarian woman. I don't really believe in religion. And I damn sure don't give a damn about the Bible. So that's number one. How me and him got together was a totally different thing. That was love on a different level that did not involve cultures, did not involve religion. It was love and respect of each other. All right, so anyway. So with Rita, right? And getting back to the whole Rastafarian thing. Now, I have respect for it. I still have respect for it, right? But the thing I don't like about it, it's like the same thing in the Muslim religion where these men feel like they could just toy with the emotions and the feelings and the love of the women who love them. Now, I have plenty of family members that are Muslim, right? And it's not like what people believe, where they believe like, oh, just because the man is Muslim, he can have as many women as he wants. That's not true. Those women have to be approved for him. And most importantly, he has to be able to literally, really, really afford them. That's the most important thing. And then the families have to approve of this guy. People don't just go around in these religions like, okay, yes, you want it so you can have it your way. It's not like Burger King, right? So, but the issue with these Rastafarian men, especially when they marry women that are not Rastafarian, and the ones that have Rastafarian women, because I've seen that too, because I've been in Jamaica, like I was literally born there because my husband was from there, so anytime he went there, I was there too. And their culture is a little bit different. Like when you marry them, you really become family, right? Because I can remember being married to my husband like not even 2 weeks, and he had like family coming from the country, coming from other states, coming from England, coming from everywhere to Jamaica. When we went to Jamaica as part of our honeymoon, that was one of our stops, right? Because he wanted to introduce me to his people, and I wanted to meet them, and it was my first time ever really going to Jamaica, so I was so excited. So this is the kind of stuff I'm saying, like, they take all that family stuff very seriously. I think all black people do. It's just the disrespect that's going on in these days, these times, these last decade or two, that has been happening where the black family all over the world has been deteriorating, because it was totally different in America and in everywhere else when I was a little girl and when I was a teenager. It started to change, like, where you could literally see it. The behaviors, the attitude, the mentality, the personal drive and initiative. You saw it change as I guess, like, when I got in my mid-20s, I saw it change. It was really getting really bad. And that was like in the 90s, getting ready to go into the 2000s. So anyway, even back then, and I know it ain't changed, because that has been, Rastafarian really has been around heavy ever since Haile Selassie visited Jamaica. And the Jamaican people declared him their Christ, right? All right. So those dudes are just like every other dude when it comes to womanizing, and it comes to cheating on their wives and treating their women as if they're women. They may love them, really love them, but, like, they still think we're expendable. They don't really have no love for women that has the depth that it needs, where they really lock on to this woman and they're like, oh, I don't need to mess with other women. And not just because of the woman itself, but because of who they are and how they feel towards women on a general collective basis. Like, there are men like that, because I know a couple of them, because I ain't gonna tell you how I know that. But there are lots of men out here where if they're with somebody, they're not fucking with no other women. There are men. They're not many, but there are, right? And I automatically thought, just because this dude was of this religion and he claimed like this was so important to him, that he would not be like other men. He certainly was. And then later on in life, the other Rastafarian man that I met, that didn't say he was married until I found out he was married, he also was a fucking cheater and a womanizer. And so was Bob Marley. But the thing this guy is saying that really kills me is that, I'm going to let you hear it, like, they really don't see us as human beings, no matter who or where or what they are. Like, they really just think we somebody to make life easy for them, feed them, fuck them, make them rub their belly and wash their hair, and, you know, be someone to be there when they cry in the dark when no one else is around. And they really don't think that we're entitled to the same fucking thing back from them. Listen to this bullshit, because when he starts talking, I don't want to play too much of it, but, well, yes, he's talking, so it doesn't really matter. But I want you to hear this shit. So the women, when he was doing this live, were like, are you out your mind? That Bob Marley was fucked up, disrespectful, playing in, you know how y'all talk, playing in his wife's face and all this shit. He was. Because when I saw that movie, it wasn't clear to me when I was a little girl. First time I ever seen Bob Marley, I was a real little girl. And I saw him on one of those night talk shows or something like that. I was sitting up with my grandfather watching like Johnny Carson or some shit like that, because Johnny Carson is dead, and so is my grandmother, my grandpa. Sorry, I messed up. I called him my grandmother in French by mistake. Is sorry, but anyway, he's dead too. So it was like, when I first saw him, I never saw dreadlocks on a black man, right? Now, this is just me. Not saying that people in my family didn't have them. They didn't have them around me. And of course, it's part of our culture since the beginning of time. But the first time I saw him, on television, I was a little girl and I was sitting there with my grandfather, and Bob Marley came out with all these locks on and a guitar strapped across his chest. And he started singing No Woman, No Cry, right? And it was something about him and something about the music and just his whole the whole aura of his humanity and his spirit, that for whatever reason I just started crying. Don't don't ask me why. I just got so emotional with that song. I was so moved. I'm a little kid now, less than 10 years old. And I just was watching him. I was allured by him because I had never seen a black man look like him, right? With the hair. Even though, like, all the men in my family that I was used to, they had long cornrows or they had big afros or the traditional short cuts and Caesars and all that. But I hadn't at that point in my life seen men with dreadlocks. So I was just staring at him, even though his hair caught me at first. After that, it was his voice. It was him and the music that was taking me to another place and moving me so spiritually that I was bringing all this emotion out that I didn't understand. So anyway, I really enjoyed the movie. And then the women started singing. And even though I didn't know who she was at the time, I was fixated on Rita. I don't know why. She always was in the middle of the two other women, right? I just fixated on her. And she was singing, but it was something about her eyes. It was so much sadness in this woman's eyes. For me as a little girl, you know how little kids are like that. Like, I could pick up on that. And even though I didn't really know much about her at that time, and I didn't even know who she was, when I saw her on the stage singing the song through the television, I just kept staring. I had totally forgot about him. And I was totally drawn to her energy. And I just kept looking at her. And the sadder she was, the sadder I got. And it was just crazy. And so, like, when I got older and I was a teenager, and I remember watching literally the concert on television that Bob Marley had in Africa just before he passed away, because he passed away at like 36, and this man was really fucking young to be dying like that. And I think that concert was in Zimbabwe or some. It was a lot going on in Zimbabwe at that time. You had the Thriller in Manila with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Was it Frazier? Yeah, I think it was Frazier. Right? And then you had Bob Marley. And then you also had they had some type of revolution in that country where they broke free of their whatever white people that was ruling their country. That happened too around that time. So I think they might have said something about that in the movie. I'm not sure. But I remember that from real life, right? And I remember him. I don't want this to go off, right? I remember him. Wait, let me stop it because I don't want it to talk till I'm finished saying what I'm saying. But I remember him in Africa giving that concert before he passed away. And as I got older, when I was older, and I still could remember and sort of like feel a little bit the sadness in Rita when she was singing that song. And then when I saw his very first, let me just stop it because it's acting stupid. But when I saw his very first like semi-autobiography, right? It had explained, and I didn't know this until I saw that first semi-autobiography, that he had made a song, right? He had made a song for the white woman that he was cheating on with his wife, and had that Damian Marley dude, I think it is, the white boy, had him and made a song for this white woman and had Rita singing backup on a fucking song that he made for this white cave bitch he was fucking. Yo, when I found that out, I would like to lose my motherfucking mind, okay? And so that's the reason why the women in this live was going off on Bob Marley and going off on Soul Flow as well, because they were expressing to him like, dude, you don't understand the gravity of the situation. This is a mulatto man disrespecting his black wife, his black Jamaican wife, for a white woman. Because he had daddy, I guess, because I don't know why. I'm not going to say that, because I really like Bob Marley, but he was a motherfucker for doing that to Rita. I don't give a fuck. Beautiful music, beautiful person, all that, but you a foul motherfucker to do that to your wife. You gonna sleep with women, have babies, and then make a song for this white bitch and got your wife singing the background on it. That is some foul shit at another fucking level. It's foul as it goes. And it speaks to the fact that he did not value this woman the way he needed to value her. So when I was watching this video, I was getting tight too, right? And I was saying to myself, the reason this black Jamaican dude is having this stance is because this nigga had a white bitch as a wife and got kids from her. So listen to the shit he's saying, and this is why the women was going off on his ass. And as I, every now and then I watch some of his videos, because he is quite fucking hilarious, and his videos about Jamaica are really, really good, and they keep you informed in like what's going on with Jamaica, because he's one of these kind of guys where he's from Jamaica, but he tries to keep up with America, with Jamaica, because he lives in America. You know how Jamaicans are funny with that. You go, what my husband used to say, you go a foreign, or something about going foreign. Anyway, it's like they see it different when you're a Jamaican and you born in Jamaica and then you go live in a foreign country, instead of being a Jamaican that stays there their whole life. So this guy tries to bridge the gap, and he does a good job of it, because I learned things about Jamaican people I like a lot because of this guy. Like, I really love me some fucking Vibe Cartel, right? So I found out different things about his trial and a possibility for parole through this dude. I didn't hear about it on the news and whatnot, because I no longer read those papers that I used to read, like when I was married to my husband, like the Jamaican Gleaner and stuff like that, in the Star. I don't do it no more. But this guy keeps me up to date. So when I saw this video, I was like, let me see what he got to say. And I should have known, because he had a white cave woman as a wife, he would have that type of attitude. But he really just doesn't get it. Like, I don't think they understand how deep that shit cuts when you're a black guy and with a black woman, and you cheat on your wife with a white bitch and have a kid by her. Can somebody say the worst fucking betrayal of all kind? Like, nigga, I'll kill you, rip your fucking skin off your body, and then kill you again type fucking shit? They really don't understand. But let's hear this fool, because he had me sitting on the couch like, Sofo, you are really a fucking damn fool when it comes to black women. Like, I don't understand you. Like, you really be straight bugging. Bugging all the way. All right, listen to this shit. Come on, where's it?
A little bit. A man like Bob Marley and Bob Marley's magnitude, who fully understood his purpose. See, that's the thing about life. When you fully understand your purpose and you start walking in your purpose, you're going to shed a lot of people. A lot of people are not going to understand you. A lot of people are going to move away from you. A lot of people are going to say, oh, I don't like how he moving like that and how he moving like that. But Bob didn't look left, right, and stop. And was like, okay, they don't like it, so I'm not doing it. No, that Bob Marley was a human being that came here and was fully in his purpose. You understand? And because he was fully in his purpose, he had to have women that were understanding of his purpose as well. Because if a woman is not understanding of a man's purpose and you keep her around, she becomes an obstacle, a distraction. Oh, I'm preaching and I don't even know how I'm preaching. Let me say it again. A man that is walking in his purpose, first of all, that's a beautiful human being. A man that is walking in his purpose. But that man needs a woman or women who are going to be a part of his life to understand his purpose and to be able to work with his purpose. And if she's not on that side, she becomes an obstacle in his way. She becomes a distraction. She becomes a diversion. Men walk in their purpose and meet certain women and completely divert from what their purpose was and end up wasted. Rita Marley didn't divert Bob from his purpose. Rita Marley contributed to Bob Marley's greatness. She is a part of the legacy. She is the backbone of the legacy. Hello, let me talk to y'all good, right? Only certain women can understand this, right? So is Sidney Breakspear, Junior Gong's mom. So are the women who Bob Marley called queens. So are all the women of all his children. Y'all are stuck on a carnal level. Y'all are stuck on way down here, primitive. Y'all are stuck on low vibrational. You still thinking sex. Oh, it's my penis. It's my...
You see how fucking stupid he is? I know I'm not stuck on. And when my husband did that shit to me, I wasn't stuck on the sex. You know what I was stuck on? Nigga, you don't give a fuck about my feelings. You just gonna shit on my feelings and don't give a fuck about me because you so busy doing you. Fuck all that shit about walking in their purpose. If he was walking in his purpose, according to what I remember, Rastafarians go by the fucking Bible, okay? Don't the Bible say, honor your fucking wife somewhere in there? And don't it tell them not to commit adultery? That's kind of like what I remember. And I ain't no Bible person. And I damn sure don't believe it. I don't read it. And I don't care about religion. But I know it's somewhere in there telling them to control their motherfucking selves and keep their dick in their pants and to treat their wife with fucking respect. And I'm saying it gutturally like that for a reason. Like, I'm trying to run the message home. Same way this asshole over here is trying to make excuses for a man betraying his wife. Those two particular people who are icons in this world made impressions upon this world that not many people can make. You sitting here making excuses for a man who was fucking weak for white bitch flesh. This dude made a whole... How you make a song for a bitch? And then disrespect and didn't divorce your wife. You still with your wife. And you honoring and glorifying and worshiping some white bitch and your beautiful wife is right here. And the fucked up part is what he's not bringing out because he's trying to make excuses for Bob is that Rita was fucking hurt. Hurt to her fucking soul. And even after this man died, she still was picking up the pieces and continuing on and fighting and fulfilling the levels of responsibilities that he was no longer here to fill and that he did not complete when he was here. Do you guys know that Bob Marley died without a will and that his family was poorer than a motherfucker when he died? And they had to borrow money from people to get back a lot of the stuff their father worked so hard for. Y'all remember the story with like Tina Turner when she left Ike and was like, I only want to keep my name and the material? That was the same fucking situation with Bob Marley. He had to fight to keep his name and his material because he didn't set up his paperwork right before he left here. And even his own sons are saying that somewhere on YouTube. I seen a video of Ziggy saying that. No, not Ziggy. Steven saying that. Was it Steven? Yeah. Steven and another son. Because I forget the other son he had. Because Steven and Ziggy are the oldest. But it was two of his sons. Was it Kamani? One of them. I don't remember. They look alike to me. A lot of them sons. A lot of them look alike. But anyway. I'm sorry. I'm Team Rita. I'm not with it. I love Bob Marley to death. I still rock and bump his music to this day and could feel all the emotion and get all the message out of it. He was a wonderful person when it came to the world. But when it came to that one woman, Rita, I don't care what nobody says. That man did not give her the respect that she deserved. And I say that to his sons in their face if I had to. Because he disrespected that woman. And that woman put up with a lot of shit, man. I think if I was Rita, I would have killed Bob Marley. He wouldn't even had to have died. I would have killed him. Cause how dare you disrespect me like that? You fucking this white woman, making songs for her, and you got me singing back up to this bitch's song? What? Ain't it enough that you fucking her? Now you got to rub that shit in my face too? Oh man, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you so many ways it ain't even gonna be funny. What? Woo! And so he not thinking about none of that, because see, women don't mean shit to these men, no matter who they are, really. We don't never really mean anything to them, and they can't even begin to understand our feelings. This is why we today have the issues we have with what's going on with black femicide and everything else, because it's okay for them to do whatever the fuck they want to do in life. But the first time you as a woman say, fuck you, fuck your feelings, and fuck everything about you too. I want to jump on any dick I want the same way you do. Now they going to kill you, beat your ass, do everything to you. But when it's the other way around, fuck you. Nobody give a fuck about you. It's all about me. Ain't that right? Ain't that what this dumb motherfucker saying? All because he was married to a cave bitch too, right?
Dick. And if my man give away my dick, I'm ending the relationship. Destroying my whole family. Taking my kids and leaving. You're never going to see your daddy again. Because another queen gave him some pum-pum.
He calling the white bitch a queen.
I'm mad. I'm heated.
This nigga is crazy.
And now you're a single mama out here.
He calling a white woman a queen.
Battering all over the place, right?
Who's the original woman? Us or them bitches?
None of Bob Marley's queens.
See how they never recognized that either? We are the original women.
They understood all the complications of who Bob Marley was. And they understood that Bob was a man that was walking in his purpose. And they understood that he came on a mission and he understands his mission. Right. So, when you talk about, when a sister like the woman who said to me, oh, she played herself. I said to her, how dare you disrespect such a legacy?
And Bob Marley didn't.
What you have built so far. Show me what you and yours have built so far.
And now he's making it a personal attack.
I'll go wait. Because I got more to say.
He got more to say.
Show me anything. Know why? Because she hadn't accomplished anything.
Okay, let's stop it there.
The person wrote back and said,
who is he to ask somebody to show them what their legacy on earth is, when we're talking about someone, Bob Marley, right, who decided to make a spectacle of themselves? When you are an entertainer, you make a decision, don't you, to say to yourself and the world, I'm going to do this thing on my legs for a minute. You make a decision to yourself and the world, right, that you're going to put yourself on display for everybody, to have an opinion about you, to have something to say about you, to like you, love you, or don't want to fuck with you. That's what you do when you become a singer, celebrity, whatever. What is he trying to go off on a person who is speaking to the disrespect and the disregard for this woman's humanity and her emotions, and the disrespect towards her love that she gave to him all those years, and her loyalty and commitment? All because he wants to try to say that it's not on the right level it's supposed to be. Yes, it is. It's on a primal level, because he had his dick in his hand the same way every other man that claims they're righteous and honorable in a certain way have their dick in their hand for every woman that comes their way, or every woman they feel they should give their dick to. No. It's no difference whether it's Bob Marley, Jesus Christ, or anybody else that people revere. If you don't live up to the 100% expectation of your honor, then you don't have none. And that's it. And I really mean that. Like, you have men who literally live and die by honor. And if you want to see them in real life, go to Japan. The Japanese culture is a culture of honor through and fucking through. You have the legend of the shogun, you have the legend of the Ronin, you have the legend of all these people that die for honor. They live by honor. Some better than others, some for good, some for bad, but it's still a honor, a code of honor they live by, and they don't never stray off the path. Because if they do, they kill themselves. And y'all know what I'm talking about. I forget what that act is called in Japan, where they actually go through the whole ritual. They put on the clothes, they put the thing on their head, and they stab themselves in their abdomen and rip it until they bleed out. They disembowel themselves. So that is honor. And if you're not a person that can do that, all that shit he talking is just talking. It's just that man gave in to a moment of weakness because he let his dick do what he wasn't supposed to do, and now he's trying to clean it up and make it seem like if a woman has an argument against a man disrespecting his wife or a woman he's supposed to really care for, then that's supposed to be given a pass or be acceptable, because you bitches, y'all just supposed to accept us men doing you any type of way we feel like, whether we claim we love you or not, or even if we do. Who the fuck are you? Life is about me as the man. And that's really what their problem is, and they really don't understand that.
Well, I may not have a lot of money, and I may not have a lot of fame. Money didn't mean shit to Bob.
He didn't have a lot of money either.
Money didn't mean shit to Bob Marley. You came back and said, oh, I might have a lot of money and a lot of fame. Fame didn't mean shit to Bob Marley either. Money and fame. Money and fame didn't mean shit to Rita Marley.
Okay, he's talking out his ass right now because none of us really knew Bob or Rita personally, right? But he's saying that because Bob Marley literally had an interview with some white guy, and he literally said to him, when the white man said, you know, you rich, you this, you famous, he said, no, I'm not really rich like that. I don't have riches like that. And he's right, because him, like many other people, had some manager dude that was stealing his fucking money and doing him dirty. A lot of people do that in the entertainment business, and we all know it. In addition to that, fame is something you get because of what you do, right? But it only goes to your head if you let it. And he never let that go to his head, because I saw him in many, many, many interviews and many concerts on TV, and he was just a regular person to me. From what I saw, and I don't know him personally, but how he presented himself, everybody could reach him. I remember seeing a footage of him on the news one night when he was in America, and he was at the airport, and he was performing somewhere, and it was plenty of people rushing him in the airport. And you know how the cops are in New York. They're like, back up, get off of him, da 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 da. This man stood there and signed autographs for a long fucking time. Spoke to people, shook hands with people. And back then, celebrities weren't like how they were now. Bob Marley was hugging these people, talking to these people. These people was touching his hair, touching his clothes, feeling his body. They loved this man like he was a god. So for this dude to be talking all this shit, whatever. You know, he only feels like he has the right to be an authority on Bob Marley because he's Jamaican and Bob Marley was Jamaican. But Bob Marley belonged to all of us in this world, because he lived right here in New York City, and everybody in New York City when Bob Marley was here was a Bob Marley fucking fanatic. Even me as a little girl. I had Bob Marley poster, the t-shirt. I had the whole, like, back then they had this album cover of Bob Marley and the Wailers with all of them on it, right? Almost everybody here in New York City, when he lived here in New York, he didn't live here long, and his mom lived in Delaware, right? So she close to New York, real close. We all used to have that Bob Marley and the Wailers album posted on our wall. We would split the album open and put it on the wall because it had the nice pictures of him and the band on it. This guy, forget this guy. It's just the fact that he is trying to make excuses for womanizing is what he won't let go.
Either. These people understood the mission. You understand? And they understood also that the message is so big that the message needed to keep going on forward. Don't you see they have children that carry the same message? Huh? Don't you see they have grandchildren that carry the same message? It is a profound message that the Marley clan came to earth to bring.
Alright, I don't mean to bust his bubble, right? And I get what he's saying. Everybody's gonna always respect Bob Marley. It was just something about that one particular man that everybody loves and honestly worships. Because even to this day, I love Bob Marley. Even though he did some foul shit to Rita Marley, I never forgive him for. But I play his music and it makes my soul feel good. I play his music and I could think about the world in a different way. I play his music and I think about my childhood when my people played his music and different things happened in my lifetime. I play his music and I think about him literally being alive and the glimpses I was given into his life through his performances, through his videos, through his interviews, through everything I saw about him and everything I saw about Rita too. And the sadness I remember from Rita's eyes that I'll never probably get out of my head, because every time I think about how her eyes looked that day, I get tears in mine. So it's like he don't know nothing about that. He just speaking from a sense of ownership because of the kinship. And he ain't thinking about the connection women have with other women, regardless of where they're from or who they are, when they hurt and they suffer and go through a pain that we are all too familiar with. He don't understand nothing about that. And they never do want to try to understand any empathy, sympathy about women or for women. They just think they're supposed to wipe our feet on us anytime they feel like it.
You a woman who could never be a Rita Marley, because you would have fucked up your whole family a long time ago the first time Bob Marley stepped outside. And then there would be no dynasty. There would be no legacy. It would just be Bob on child support paying.
You know what he don't remember? You know Rita Marley was in a group before she met Bob Marley, right? She had her own career. And she could have been a singing sensation herself if she didn't decide to give up her life and her dreams to be with this guy to help him with his dream. That's what this guy is forgetting. And you know what else he's forgetting? That even after Bob Marley died and Rita had to fight for the rights of Bob's things, his property, his music, his name, and everything, and she got it back. She also had to fight for that stuff again when they tried to take everything away from Bob Marley later on in life. His recording studio and all this stuff, their house in Jamaica, everything. This woman fought to keep everything that their family fought and got and lived for in life. She didn't just do it because of her relationship to Bob. She did it for herself, her family, and for all the hard work she put in on that. See, you see how he think about everything Bob Marley. He ain't thinking nothing about Rita. And Rita contributed a lot. She also helped with the music. She sung in the band. She arranged music. She did everything that way, the same way he did. But this guy is acting like it was all Bob and Rita just was there for the ride along. She was just as instrumental as him, except for she wasn't the lead singer. And she wasn't the Bob Marley. But she was Bob Marley when it came to being part of that band and being part of making sure he became who he was. And that's what he's not understanding. We understand that as women. Because when we really love a man, we down for that man. Even though no matter how much dirty shit he does to us, And this is what these fools don't understand. They make excuses like this shit right here, talk about this lady could never be a Rita Marley. Yes, she could. Yes, she could. And what Rita didn't have nothing to do with humility and none of that shit. She was looking out for what she put into all that shit all that time, in my opinion. Because if I worked that hard with that man to get us and get him where he was, I'd be goddamn if I walk away from all the work I put in, all the money and everything that's owed to me for all the shit I've been through. That's the part he don't understand. Because all he's thinking is that, like a dumbass fucking black male, right? That women only think as far as like the jealousy and the betrayal, hurt, and pain of the man going with another woman over you. It is a lot to do with that, but it has a whole lot to do with all the other shit too. Like, I put in on this shit too. You ain't just gonna take everything from me and run off and leave me without nothing and have me like all fucked up and you good. I be goddamn. He ain't thinking about that part. He's not. And he's not thinking about the part that that's her place. That's her position that is given to her not only by a fucking marriage license, but by law. By law, she's the woman. She's the head bitch in charge. Or head black woman in charge. Not no white bitch he fucking. Or any other one he was fucking. But I just can't get it over him fucking that white bitch like that and putting her so out in the front. And you never seen the black women he was cheating with like that out in the front. The way that he was parading that white bitch. And I think it's because he has so many daddy issues with his white daddy. That was a fucking pedophile who is a grown fucking man having sex with a teenage woman on a plantation that he was the foreman on or whatever, and the woman and his mama worked there. Because I don't know if y'all know the true story of his parents, but his mother was a teenager fucking a grown, nasty, disgusting, old fucking Irish white man on a plantation where she worked. And then when the woman got in dire straits and had to leave Jamaica because she couldn't make it and came to America, this motherfucker didn't even help her. Yeah, there's a lot to this story. But they like everybody else. This is real life. Like, people just fuck over other people. But this guy here, he want to act like Bob Marley different. No, he not. He the same.
Friggin' child support. See?
He just a talented cheater.
His kids on visitation only, and you allowing the government to control his relationship with his children because you're bitter. A woman as great as a woman like Rita Marley and all the other women that Bob Marley were with. Let's speak on Rita because that's the one that they were dissing. Oh, she played herself, and he played her right in her face.
He did.
Rita knew everything that was going on.
She did, and she spoke on it too.
Rita was looking way farther ahead. Now that's a woman with vision, my friend. You understand me? Yeah.
He bugging. He's saying Rita had vision, Rita had anger, and Rita had revenge on her mind. I know I would. And not only that, Rita was caught in a time when she didn't have a lot of rights the way we have today. But believe me, I'm pretty sure, I can't speak for her, but I'm pretty sure, if she had it her way, if it was the laws now and the time now, the way back then, she would have got rid of him, still worked there, and took half of his shit and been like, yeah, well, you go ahead with that white bitch. I'ma sing and keep my job and keep making my money, and you can do what the fuck you want to do. But I really think she was doing that anyway, even though they'll never tell that real story. Because we all do know that it ain't like she was sitting there crying over this motherfucker. She had her own man in the cut, but, that's neither here nor there. I don't know them like that, but I know she did. I know she would have to. Who the fuck is dealing with that shit? Disrespect like that. This guy got tons of kids. But then what black man don't, right? Black male, rather. Come on, bitch nigga, keep talking.
And it takes a woman with vision to see the course through, standing by you while you're building this legacy.
See, this is the shit I'm talking about, right? Like, now he's trying to tear other women down for not accepting this shit because they're living today. Now, maybe if they lived back then when women had to rely on their husbands, they might have seen it differently. But today, we don't need to do that shit. So that's why the women are saying what they're saying. But what he's saying is fucking ridiculous. Because pretty much he's saying that the woman should put up with all types of fucking trespasses against them, regardless of how severe they are. Because, hey, you get over that shit. Just walk it off. You be all right. It ain't that bad. You just a woman. You don't mean shit. You ain't got no feelings, and you ain't a human being. You be all right.
See, while you're building this dynasty, I told the person, I said my grandparents got together when they were in their 20s. My grandparents passed away last year and the year before that, one behind each other. 95 and 96 years old.
Oh, God bless.
And they stayed together their whole life. My grandfather had a child outside of his wedlock.
See?
My grandmother didn't throw that away. Oh, y'all picnic upon me? My God. She didn't throw that away. I remember their last visit to Florida.
They are so stupid.
Before they went back to Jamaica, and then they were too old to travel because they started having ailments. You know, like he couldn't stand up for way long or whatever. You're talking about 96 years old. So he's like, I remember he looked over. We were gathered at my mother's house. And you know them coming to town, so them call everybody, yes, grandma them here and all, grandpa them here and all, zoom zoom, everybody is.
It's true what he's saying. Even me, when I was married to my husband.
Driving in, meet up, and I looked around, and I saw so many faces. These are all my cousins and our children and all this, and I see my grandparents, man and woman, sitting there, and I thought to myself, damn, all this came from these two people and their union. And as soon as I thought that, my grandfather looked over to my grandmother and he said, Ruby, the union has been fruitful, man. He looked around like this. This man was looking at all his...
Now, not trying to be funny, I'm going to end it there because we all know, right? That's nothing to brag about, okay? Everybody's family is like that. There always takes two people to start, and it's a multitude of people behind them. That's what family is. That's what generations are. So when he was saying his grandfather had a child outside of their marriage, and the grandmother stayed there, and that didn't stop them. She didn't say, oh, you had a child on me, I'm leaving. The reason I didn't repeat him is because I really hate the fact that Jamaican people use the slave word for children in their dialect, which is pitney. I don't like that. That's what white people used to call us in Jamaica, in America. They use that word a lot. I fucking hate that word. But anyway, okay. So anyway, they use it. That's their colloquialisms. No problem. I would never say that shit. And I used to have to tell my husband, please don't call my children that around me. That is straight out of slavery. Don't do that. And so he would do that around his people and his. But when I come, I have a problem with that. I don't call my children that shit. So, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But the fact that this guy is dismissing his own grandmother's feelings, and he's that ignorant that he doesn't even understand that's what he's doing. Like, if he really thinks that it didn't, like, really hurt his grandmother, that her husband did that to her, I don't know what world he's living in. And then the fact that these guys never really remember or want to understand that, you understand what time your grandmother was married to your grandfather? More than likely, she couldn't leave that dude and survive on her own. Because the laws all over the world were worse in other countries than they were in America. If you really would be living like shit if you left your husband up until the 1975 in America. Can you only imagine how bad you would have been off if you left your husband in Jamaica? A supposed third world country? What the fuck is wrong with these dudes? Women don't stay with men who they don't like, who cheat on them and who give them nothing but heartache and sorrow and struggle their whole lives just because they like to be abused. They do it because, unfortunately, too many times they don't have no other motherfucking excuse or no other way of surviving. Like, he don't understand that they didn't have a choice. If all of our grandmothers, foremothers had a choice to leave those fucked up characters that was cheating on them, beating them, treating them like they weren't shit, fucking their daughters and all this type of stuff, none of them women would have been with those men. Not one of them. And there would be no families the way we know it today. Which is why these motherfuckers today are fighting for this whole Christian nationalism for America. Because they see the direction the country's going in. It's just a matter of time before America is just like Korea with that 4B movement. It took centuries for those Korean women to say, enough is a motherfucking enough. Don't these males get it? That all women of the world are going to get to that point to say, enough is fucking enough. They really don't understand the way women are treated in this world. We're treated as a human fucking servant to men. Someone to take care of them as if they're a baby their whole lives. And then be a person who, like their mommy that they could fuck. This is what we are in life to these dudes. Forever. And in some countries, we can't be educated. We can't go to get a job. We can't go to school. We can't drive. We can't even decide how we want to go outside, whether we want to let our hair show, or if we want to show our cleavage, or if we walk with a man as a companion or not. We don't even have choices like that in this world. Like, they really don't understand that we're fucking slaves in this world. A world that we fucking created. That if we did not give birth, none of these motherfuckers would exist. And they treat us like we're beneath them. I got a woosah because this really, really bothers me about this world. Like, they really treat women like we are nothing. And we are everything to this world. We are literally, black women, the Mother Earth. And all the rest of the women are the daughters of the earth. Without these women birthing generations of people into this world, there would be no fucking mankind. And they just treat us like we're fucking trash. We're not human. We're not to be respected. We're not to be listened to. We're not to be anything but something to be fucking used and abused. They really don't understand that. And they really don't understand that we hate every minute of it. We fucking hate you. We hate every minute of it. We don't want to exist in a world where we fucking live to serve you. Who the fuck are you without us? You fucking come through us. We don't come through you. They really don't understand this shit. They really don't. And they could sit down and think that my emotion is funny or it don't mean shit, and they think that whatever dumbass laws they make is really going to put us in check or get us back in our place. We ain't never going back there again. And if it means killing out the whole fucking species of human beings, that's what women will do. Because we're not going back there. We're not going to continue to live our lives and our daughters live their lives being fucking sexual servants to deviants of this world. Ain't no way in the fucking world. Whether black women want to collectively get their shit together and take a united stand or not, it will fucking happen one by one. Because motherfuckers get tired of being used. And that's all I got for this video, because I'm getting angry like a motherfucker. Because it doesn't matter who the male is. They all think the same way. Like, women are here for their pleasure, as if we don't want to live our lives for ourselves the way we want to. It just don't make no motherfucking sense. So the bottom line is, the same way those Korean people feel like, fuck it, we go extinct. That's how all of us are going to get. because we deserve to live a life too. We deserve to be happy while we're here too. The way we want to be happy, not the way you think we're supposed to be happy. You know, they lie about countries' populations and birth rates and replacement rates. They lie about everything. Do you guys know that Korea has been well behind the birth rate and the replacement birth rate for years? They're steadily declining year after year, to the point where in our fucking lifetime we may very well see the elimination of Korean women in Korea. How about that? This ain't a joke, y'all. Women are tired of men ruling over them and treating us like we're not human beings and we're not fit to lead lives that make us happy and make us want to wake up in the morning, instead of cutting our fucking wrists and saying, fuck you, your patriarchy, and everything about you stink nasty motherfuckers that we don't want nothing to do with. They really don't understand that. They really, really don't. Good night, black women. I hope something I've said here tonight gives food for thought and improvement in whatever the hell it can be. I gotta go because I'm just way too psyched. Good night.